Enough.
Oh, come on now. Come on now.
Oh, my God.
Somebody get out here.
Oh, my God.
Inferno. Somebody get out here.
Yeah, back in this, you could do things like that and not go to jail. It's crazy. Holy Moses. Unbelievable. After all these years of being in the company, this is the first time that I've actually been to the warehouse. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you want to talk about history. Holy smokes, man. That is unbelievable. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Man. The casket match has become synonymous with The Undertaker. It was the way that I would usually end a rivalry with someone. It would end up in the casket match. I didn't really realize that I went through that many caskets. But I guess thinking about it, I guess I did. The top on this one is all just smashed in. These things took a beating within the course of a casket match. Look at all this. That's from matches. That's not from packing them and moving them around. That's just matches. If you end up in a situation where you're in a casket match with The Undertaker, most times it's not gonna turn out well for you. It's crazy to think of all the wrestlers that have been in these caskets, including myself. I've been in quite a few of them myself. I just happened to be able to get out. A lot of guys, man, a lot of guys took naps in there. The casket match and The Undertaker, they go hand in hand. Undertaker versus Yokozuna, Royal Rumble, 1994. A lot of memories with this one right here. Finally got a chance to work with the great Yokozuna, but obviously, knowing the size of Yokozuna, there was no way possible he was gonna go into one of these. Paul takes you into the workshop as I'm preparing this double deep, double wide casket to fit the enormity of the giant Yokozuna.
Double wide, double deep, and most of all, no mileage at all.
I'm going through all of these details so that I have the perfect casket to throw Yokozuna in. A lot of memories here, man. A lot of memories, and really just fond of this style casket match. It was a lot of fun, and if getting put in a casket is your thing, I guess, I don't know. Rest in peace. Here we are, Paul Bearer pushing out this casket we've specifically built for Yokozuna. Paul Bearer's aura alone is enough to scare somebody. The urn, always prominent. Undertaker 101 right here. And here it is, about to get into it. Now, one of the small subtleties, look, right there. Look at Yokozuna's face. You never see that expression in any other match that he's ever been in. That was the look of a man that was scared. He's got me down, he's got me beat. There's Mr. Fuji in the casket. I'm going. Looks like he's got me. Here he goes to slam the lid.
Get him in there, get him in there.
He asked for the lid to be shut. That was his mistake. Boom, Undertaker comes up.
It's not over yet.
Now here we go.
They're both down. Both of them are down. What is it about that urn? What is it about that urn that makes this man get up time after time after time?
This is the end, or so we think. Now, all I have to do now is just roll his body in there. No one wanted to ever go in the casket, so.
This could be it.
He's in. All I got to do is shut the lid. And here comes the cavalry. Big crush.
What's Crush doing out there?
One after another, trying to hold off 10 guys. And it's a numbers game, and they finally get the Undertaker down. What I remember is how much of a hit job this was, how they had it set up so nicely to finally what they thought would be the end of the Undertaker. And there it is, Bigelow on top, holding the lid down to make sure that I don't come out. All right, job well done, guys. Yoko's your winner. And they think they've put an end to the Undertaker, but now the smoke is starting to bellow from the casket. And now soon you're going to get the perspective on the Tron of me on the inside. There it is. You can see it back there in the Tron. Is he alive? Is he dead? Is he alive? What is it? What's going on here?
What is going on here? No!
Be not proud. The spirit of the Undertaker lives within the soul of all mankind. The eternal flame of life that cannot be extinguished.
Undertaker versus Yokozuna, Survivor Series, 1994.
The unearthly one has arrived.
And I tell young wrestlers this all the time. When you go into a rematch with someone, you need to go back and watch everything that's already been done, because you're not starting over. It's just a continuation. Yes, there's been a huge gap, but you have to be able to remember everything that got you to the point where you're at now. Yoko has a win on me in my own match, and this is the redemption. Look at right there. He's looking, you can't see it there, but he's looking at the casket. And look, boom, look at how agile the man is. Now he's gonna realize that he's on the casket. And behind him is the Texas Ranger himself, Chuck Norris. Here we go, he's about to get me into this thing. Nope, not ready to go in there yet. It was always such a pleasure to work with him. I mean, it was always physical and we beat the crap out of each other, but it was always a fun day at the office. So Chuck Norris is guarding the aisle. Looks like I'm going in here. Not yet, big man. So you have this struggle right here. We're feet away from me losing again, but nope, here we go. The enormity of that casket. Now we're both in here fighting. Felt every one of those. That's what was so cool. Like, we could knock and beat the hell out of each other, and after the fact, we could drink a beer. IRS, I must have been behind on my taxes that year. Bundy and Bigelow. There I am in the casket in now. All Yokozuna has to do is get up and come over and shut the lid. Looks like I'm in pretty bad shape right there.
Doesn't look good here.
I wish I'd have soaked in and enjoyed the moments maybe a little more, especially with guys like Yoko. It was always business, and during these. And I wish I had probably enjoyed the moments a little more early on. Boom, Undertaker redemption.
It's all over.
It was a long time coming for that revenge. Not a day goes by, really, that I don't think about Yoko. He was just an awesome man. Undertaker vs. Goldust, and in your house, beware of dog. This one, obviously started going with the theme and battled with Goldust, so Goldust gets a gold casket. I mean, what else? It's going to be his final riding place, so I might as well deck it out so that he felt comfortable. This is what we did for Goldust. You know, and people say that I have no feelings or I don't care, but I mean, I went to a lot of effort here to make sure that Goldust had a gold casket. So he's obviously doesn't know that I'm standing behind him.
Where did he come from? I have no idea.
Goldust's character was so over the top. Man, what a great worker he was, and his aggressive. That right there is, regardless of his character, if you're gonna wrestle The Undertaker, you have to be this aggressive. Because if you don't, what's gonna happen is Undertaker's gonna set up and he's gonna wreak havoc. So, you know, that's just some of the, some of the ring IQ that Goldust had. It was just, he knew that he had to be ultra aggressive. Two very, very different characters on anybody's spectrum, but sometimes those are the matches that really pique the fans' interest.
What is left to be done for Goldust is to try to somehow grab or whatever he's got to do. The Undertaker's that popular.
This is the part of storytelling that gets lost, that now it's kind of gone beyond two characters. Now it's a survival. It's kind of a, you know, the characters are out the window and it's all about winning this match. I almost had it, got the arm out. This is probably going to turn south for Goldust here in just a second.
Trying to get on top of the casket. The power of the Undertaker. That is awesome power.
That was just...
That is awesome power, I can tell you.
So good. No, you just don't expect the lid to come off the other way. Always enjoyed working with Goldust.
I'll tell you what, the casket's a little worse for wear as well. That's our least two hours.
In a technical aspect, not only as far as our characters being so different, but just the chemistry that I had with him. Whose will is the strongest? And I think that's kind of the story that we tried to tell.
Here we go.
And this right here,
Tombstone. Is it a tombstone?
Tombstone, boom. I believe it's over for Mr. Goldust.
This one is over. Open the casket. Formality now. Goldust is out of it. What is that?
Where did he come from? Mankind. Oh man. This was a kind of a crazy three-way situation for quite a while.
Goldust the winner.
Look at this, the odd mix of characters here. I mean, it is just, and it worked. And it all worked. Goldust, Mankind, and The Undertaker all walk into a bar.
What's happening to the casket? That's what I want to know.
It was definitely a battle of wits coming at each other from two completely different angles.
They better try to get this darn thing open.
Well, what's gonna happen? Where'd I go?
The Undertaker's gone. Where is the Undertaker?
When the casket would open and I wasn't there, they knew that I wasn't done. And at some point, the Undertaker was gonna literally set up and strike his revenge. Undertaker versus Randy Orton and Bob Orton. No Mercy, 2005. This one was built for the Ortons. I needed a box big enough for both of them. We knew the program worked, so we went with the extra large again. I enjoyed working that program. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of funny talking about how much fun casket matches are, but I guess that's my morbid sense of humor.
And so it begins.
When the Druids came out, they were either coming out to get me and take my battered body back to the dark side, or they would present, you know, the casket. I mean, the Druids themselves is just basically, it's the beginning of the end. You know, it's more of that visual mind game of this is what's in store for you. The 2-on-1 now, they're putting the boots to me and trying to get me in here. You know, father-son just kicking the crap out of me.
Undertaker trying to prevent the lid from closing.
Not quite ready to go yet.
What an uppercut. Oh, there goes Randy Orton as well.
Randy was a legacy. His talent, I mean, right out of the get-go was very apparent. He was a main event guy right out of the get-go.
They're not going to do this. They're going to try to suplex him over the top rope.
Going for what, a double suplex here?
They can't get him up. Undertaker.
Oh my God, they're inching him up. Oh.
This is not going to turn out well. Double DDT.
The double time for the Undertaker.
Even Cowboy Bob, even at this stage, it could still go, which was really fun.
Oh, now he opened it up again.
Here I am calling for it. I think I've got this. We get rid of the old man first.
Here we go.
And Cowboy Bob's into the casket. Now Randy's got to be delivered.
Randy's grandfather and his dad both were big stars in the industry. Randy was right there with them.
Undertaker's going to throw Randy in, open it up.
A lot of times I worked with guys and they were so intimidated, they were afraid to do certain things, and he wasn't. And he was willing to take the chance on, you know, maybe suffering the wrath of the Undertaker later on, but I mean, he gave it everything he had. Beautiful RKO right there.
An RKO to the blinded Undertaker.
If somebody was like that, then I was usually much more receptive in how I dealt with them, because I was always looking for that person that was ultra aggressive.
Undertaker. Randy Orton.
Oh, I think from behind. The proverbial numbers game. Caught the dead man.
God, I can't believe it.
And now he is trying to put the proverbial final nail in the coffin here. He's going to chop this thing up with an axe, and that's not quite enough. Now we're going to add gasoline to it.
There's a man in there. Enough with this.
Pour a little gasoline on me.
Come on.
Yeah, back in this, you could do things like that and not go to jail. It's crazy.
Enough.
Oh, come on now. Come on now.
Well, I mean, when a man tries to set you on fire and burn you,
No.
I mean, where do you take that?
God.
How
Oh.
you know, and every fan knows right now, if I survive this,
My God.
that he is a marked man. He will suffer the consequences of the Undertaker's wrath for sure. It upped the ante tenfold. It's amazing. Undertaker versus Mark Henry, WrestleMania 22. WrestleMania 22, the world's strongest man. Again, I've got a theme here of working with extremely large men that just don't fit in your normal size casket. As you can see, I'm getting a little more stylish with my caskets. We got some nice purple siding in here. Plenty enough room for both of us to get in here and fight. That's a terrifying sound if you're the one on the inside of that, by the way.
The Undertaker.
I trained really hard strength-wise for this, my conditioning, because Mark Henry's a lot of man to try and move around and do things with in the ring. You know, as the years went by, the pressure of WrestleMania increased exponentially year after year. Once the streak had kind of been identified, the pressure that went along with it.
It does seem like Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, is maybe a half a step up ahead of what the Undertaker's got in mind.
Mark Henry focused.
Here we go. Mark's put it to me pretty good. Thinks he's got me down well enough that he's going to get me in the box.
That thing is gigantic. Look at the size of those chains. And look, the Undertaker might be going in that thing, Cole.
His strength, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I've been in the ring with a lot of strong people, but Mark's strength is it's just a whole nother level above everyone else.
Mark Henry just seems to have everything the Undertaker has in his game plan scouted out perfectly.
Whoa. Henry just said open it.
Just a very rare athlete that has the ability actually to move as well as he does and be as strong as he is. That's 400 pounds right there.
Mark Henry landed feet first in the casket.
And he didn't want to be in that casket, though. He probably didn't want to be eating all those potatoes I'm hitting him with either. I mean, look at the ease in which he just jerked me down into there. Your best hope with Mark was hope he got tired. You weren't going to outstrength him.
Both men are in the casket. Mark Henry wearing out the dead man.
Trying to beat the Undertaker down. Mark Henry.
What's going on?
Well, he's got it. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Got Goozle.
On this match, I really wanted to show some different aspects of The Undertaker. I'd really never really displayed like my strength or anything like that. So in this one, we pull out all the stops.
Look at this.
Mark Henry under the lid of the casket.
I believe this might be setting up the dive here.
Undertaker suddenly has the advantage.
I'm having to think, I'm going to give it a go. Here we go. Get up. Still had those young, fresh legs even then. It's always nice to have the big guys to land on. For me, it was a sign of basically how important these matches were to me, that I would even attempt that, and especially attempt to not only clear the top rope, but clear the distance of the casket. I would push the limits of my own physical skills just to set the match apart from other matches that I've had.
7 foot tall Undertaker flying through the air like a damn 767. Holy shoulders!
This probably is the biggest test and biggest feat of strength that I ever did in my career was Tombstone and Mark Henry. Because that, my man, is a big human being.
And now look at this goal!
And that's all she wrote.
Holy smokes!
I'm actually not so much celebrating my win as I'm shocked that I actually was able to tombstone him.
The Undertaker is 14-0 at WrestleMania.
It's right up there with the Shawn Michaels tombstone, I believe, at WrestleMania 26. The jumping tombstone is probably first, and that one's probably second. I'm really, really proud that I was able to do that.
Undertaker vs. Big Show, Survivor Series, 2008.
This bad boy here was for Big Show. I believe that right there is my head from him slamming me into this thing. As big as that is for a normal human being, trying to get Big Show into this thing was no easy feat. It was just like trying to stuff 20 pounds of potatoes in a 10-pound bag. But again, just another classic casket match. And there's just a lot of history. And it just reminds me that I worked with a lot of big men. And as you can tell from the size of the caskets as they progressed, and from normal size wrestlers to the giants, man, it's an incredible piece of history. Just reminds me of how important the casket match had become in WWE. Yeah. Good times. Now here we have the Druids again. Look like they're struggling a little bit with the size of this big metal casket. I didn't even know they made caskets this big. That's a lot of Druids trying to make sure that thing doesn't lose control and roll down the ramp. Those years around 2008, I felt like I was in my physical prime and had the best understanding of the business. Just mind games here is all I'm doing. Like I'm reminding, and this is your idea, big fella. So whatever happens, just remember this was your idea. He challenged me to a casket match, so that's probably why I didn't get the extra large hand-built casket. He brought at least he brought one that he was big enough to get in. You start using the casket; it's a weapon within the match. You can see the dents in it. You can catch an edge of this thing. It would lace you wide open. It's made out of metal. There's things that stick out that you don't necessarily see. The padding inside of a casket is not as plush as it looks. The people that usually go in them aren't really worried about the comfort.
The referees are saying, wait, you've got to close it.
And that's the rule. Big Show's got to close the casket.
There's a lot of things that can cut you, getting your hand out or leg out like that. It could break a leg. I mean, it really is, can be a dangerous match depending on how far you go with it. Big Show was an incredible athlete for the size that he was. He was fun to work with, and again, just on the talent scale, he was right up there with all the great big men.
Undertaker calling for the casket to be opened.
Only the third casket match in the 22-year history of the Survivor Series.
Am I gonna hit him with the running kick? I don't remember what I did. No? Yeah, is it the kick? Yeah. I knew I needed something with some momentum.
Oh, yeah, he's in!
That's a big casket. That is a huge casket for him to be able to roll in there like that.
Big Show's in the casket!
And now the Undertaker's got to shut the lid, and this one is in the book.
And that is a wrap. No, it's not a wrap. He's got a little bit left. Look at that.
Big Show blocking with both hands. In a frantic frame of mind, one has to assume.
He wasn't ready for his dirt nap yet. You have to remember what you've done previously and then try and figure out what haven't we done? What's something that we can do? It just takes creative minds to sit down and figure out the possibilities and to take people on a ride that they don't expect.
Big Show wiping his hands and thinking about looking at that casket. Strength.
We had never done any of this, and there's not many people that could lift a casket like that up by themselves.
Oh!
There was the dent. That's probably the dent that's in the top right there.
Big Show using the casket as a weapon.
I mean,
This casket down.
he's just so big and strong.
Smart strategy.
You're not supposed to be able to do this.
It's all legal as this casket match continues.
Yeah, and that's a legit. I mean, that casket is totally legit. Someone big could have been buried in that very easily.
Show again asserting his dominance on the Undertaker, who fights back in
I
retaliation.
mean, now the risk factor is now moved up because now you're on the stage. One bad step here and
Whoa, what?
it's a long fall.
Big Show teetering
Which we're kind of setting up here. Kind of setting up. Am I going to be able to knock him off?
on disaster on the edge of the staging area.
Just to kind of give you a little scale there.
Oh!
Oop. That's a win. He's man, I couldn't have went much better. That casket could have spun in 8 different directions and that wouldn't have happened.
The Undertaker has put the Big Show in a second casket to win this casket match.
I hope everyone enjoyed this trip down memory lane. I know I did. There's a lot of souls back there, a lot of memories. I hope you guys have enjoyed me reliving some of these memories, some of these matches. It is a vital part of my history, and I've really enjoyed presenting these caskets and some of the stories surrounding them. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, rest in peace.